How's it going, guys? It is Luke here. I have another Wi-Fi battle for you today. This one was against a guy by the name of TY, I believe. It was a pretty decent match. It was alright. I picked it up off of Pokemon Wi-Fi Zat again. It seems to be the only place I can actually get battles these days. I don't know why, it just is. Like I said, the battle's fairly decent. You can see the teams there. Stealth Rocks are going to be really beneficial for the Thundurus, the Charizard. Be nice on the Blissey, I guess. So I'm going to try and get those up as soon as I can. But anyway, this is... I want you guys to bear in mind that on Wi-Fi I play a lot differently to PO. When I play on PO, I smash people. When I play on Wi-Fi, I really just don't really care if I sack stuff. It's all about the win. So you guys are going to see that I play a lot more recklessly on Wi-Fi, and that's just a bad habit I got into. So anyway, he's going to lead with the Gliscor. I'm going to lead with a T-Tart. Now, I would normally set up Stealth Rocks, but seeing as he leveled the Gliscor, I'm going to assume he's either going to set up a substitute or he's going to attack me or go for a Toxic or something along those lines. So what I end up doing is actually going straight for the Ice Beam, and that actually takes it out straight away. I do run some, but not very much, special attack investment, which can make the difference. So that's that's why I run that. I do end up taking out the Gliscor with the Ice Beam though, which is nice because that's part of his core goal, and he has the Ferrothorn, the Blissey, and the Gliscor I was worried about. The Ferrothorn comes in now though, and I know at this point he can't take me out, so I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks here. Or I assumed he couldn't take me out anyway. He's going to set up a layer of spikes here, which is absolutely fine. Now this turn I've got no reason not to attack him, and like I said, I packed the Flamethrower. Now I packed the Flamethrower really just for Ferrothorn, and I packed the Ice Beam for Landorus, Donphan, and Gliscor switch-ins and stuff like that, so easy predictions to make. So I end up hitting this Ferrothorn with a Flamethrower now, which it does pretty good damage. I'm going to go ahead and say that's I think it's a physically defensive Ferrothorn. I think especially bulky one would have taken that a little bit better. Then he ends up hitting me with a Power Whip here, and he actually ends up taking me out, which is quite surprising, because although I don't run any defense investment on this T-Tar, I've seen it take much less damage from a Power Whip before, so I don't really know what kind of Ferrothorn he's running, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's invested. So anyway, I'm going to bring in Keldeo now. That does threaten it out. But he's just going to go for the Protect because he is that set, which is absolutely fine. I just decided to lock myself into Secret Sword because he has the Blissey, he has this. Literally anything on his team is not really going to appreciate it, so I ended up locking myself into that. I, of course, am a Specs Keldeo, so it's going to deal massive damage to anything he wants to switch in, regardless of if it resists it or not. So I end up taking out the Ferrothorn now with a Secret Sword, and I was really interested in this point actually what he was going to bring in next, and he actually decides to bring in Thundurus. Now Thundurus is one thing on his team that is going to threaten me. I'm definitely going to have to switch here if I want to keep my Keldeo, which I do want to keep my Keldeo, so I'm forced to switch, so I'm going to end up switching out into my Rotom. Now I could have gone a Gliscor. The Thunderbolt was obviously a very obvious play, but the reason why I don't go out to Gliscor is because had he gone for the Hidden Power Ice right there, it would have screwed me over a lot more than what losing my Rotom would have screwed me over. So I decided to basically let Rotom take the hit, and you guys are going to see in a minute that I really need my Gliscor to basically take out this Thundurus. You're going to see. So pretty much I end up taking the Thunderbolt. I don't want to switch just in case he wants to HPI, so I end up staying in and just leaving Rotom to die, which it sucks, but I'm not going to go ahead and say it's a regrettable mistake or anything. I wouldn't have changed the way I played, so in my eyes, it was a good play. So I end up foddering that out. Now I go out into Gliscor. The reason why I do this is I actually want to rack up some Life Orb recoil and some Sandstorm damage on this before I attempt the Bullet Punch. So I go into Gliscor to bait the Hidden Power Ice. I know if he has it, he's going to go for it. So I go for the Gliscor switch, then I double straight out into my Scizor, obviously knowing I can take the Hidden Power Ice really well, and if he wants to go for a Thunderbolt, I know I can take that. I won't appreciate it, but I can take it. He does end up going for the Hidden Power Ice, just like I baited him to. He is going to take Life Orb recoil and Sandstorm damage, which now I'm almost adamant, well, I am adamant, lol. I'm almost adamant I can take it out with a Bullet Punch, so I just end up going for that. I do end up taking it out, which is lovely. He could have switched into something or other, I guess, but had he done that, then something else would have been probably 2-hit KO'd or close to it. So he ends up bringing in the Charizard. Of course, I got my Stealth Rocks up earlier, so this thing, being 4 times weak to rocks, is going to be crippled as it comes in. Now, again, looking at my team, I could switch, but if he subs, or if he's like some kind of weird variant, or he does something, it could actually put me in trouble. So I could actually lose the match to a Charizard, depending on what kind of variant it was. So being aware of that, I actually decided to stay in and fodder off my Scizor. He actually ends up predicting my switch to Keldeo. Again, another reason why I didn't switch, it's just a way too obvious play. Keldeo was the only thing on my team I had at that precise moment to switch into a Charizard. and considering it gets, you know, like flying type stuff, it's just not a good idea for me to switch it in. So for that reason, I end up leaving Scizor in. So I end up switching out now, go out into my Gliscor. Now this looks like a horrific play, but there is a lot of thought that goes into it. The reason why I bring in Gliscor here is because if I bring in my own Keldeo and he does what he does now, which is set up a Calm Mind, and he outspeeds me, he will kill my Keldeo. If I bring in my Keldeo later on and I win the speed tie, or he's not running max speed, I will take him out. If he gets up more than one Calm Mind, I won't be able to take him out. I know that I need one hit of Sandstorm to be able to take him out with a Choice Specs Secret Sword. And for that reason, I end up going out into Gliscor and letting him kill that off, because I know if I send out Gliscor, he is going to actually attack me and not sit there stat boosting with Calm Minds and such. So I basically use Gliscor as a means of stopping him from setting up any further, which does work out for me. So you can see that now I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Keldeo. Now I do go for the Secret Sword, but unfortunately he is actually going to win the speed tie, and I was really surprised. Like, why? I don't understand why he was running max speed on a bulkier variant of Keldeo, but it turns out he's just running max speed with Calm Mind to rely on, like, Calm Mind for the bulk, which I don't agree with that at all. I don't really know why he ended up doing that, but, you know, he ended up doing that. So I end up losing Keldeo because it turns out, you know, he's max speed. So I just end up going out into Scizor now. I end up locking myself into Bullet Punch because I just want to get off as much damage on this Keldeo as I can before I have to bring in anything else. Like, honestly, like I said to you guys earlier, it's all about just getting rid of anything and everything I can to rack up some Sandstorm damage before I can bring in my Terrakion. Of course, it is Scarf, so I know I'm going to be able to outspeed this thing. And the last Pokemon he has apart from this Keldeo is going to be a Blissey, so I know that I can pretty much just get some damage off and then safely bring in Terrakion, lock myself into the close combat, and I can take out his Keldeo, and I can also take out his Terrakion. So it was a fairly decent match. You guys can see how I play a lot differently on Wi-Fi than I do on PO, because on PO, you know, you can make some stranger plays, and people are generally a little bit better on PO as well, just because of the risks and stuff like that. It's, you know, if you fuck up on PO, you can just close the window and just get a new battle. You can't really do that on Wi-Fi, so for that reason, people tend to play safer, and they don't really make as good plays. So for that reason, I kind of play the same. I kind of just scale down. I use the knowledge that I have in order to win, but I'm not really going to be making any kind of really good predictions where they're not needed, because people don't generally play as well as they could. So for that reason, you know, I just end up, you know, going into Scizor and Bullet Punch in the Keldeo. I would never do that on PO, but at the same time, it's an easy way to rack up some Sandstorm damage and then get a free switch, so that's why I did it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys could drop a like, that would help me out. You guys can click to subscribe and join the Keldeo army, previous battle on the top left, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for another upload.